Bill Harold. This is my son Jackson. We're just passing through. We picked up his first truck, a 69 F100. Grabbed it up by McCall, Idaho. We're taking it back to Michigan, where we're going to give it a little refurb, refresh, and get him on the road in it.
First truck.
Yep.
All original. Everything works. Runs, drives.
Clean as a whistle. This is what I should have bought. This is what I should have bought, but I'm
We'll trade.
glutton for punishment. I'm in too deep now. Yeah, listen, he's like, no, we won't. We're not trading nothing. This is my truck. What are you doing, Dad? Even the tailgate matches.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
1,700 miles.
So you guys drove 1,700 miles to get your truck, but also ring the bell. Really to get your truck, right?
Yeah, mainly.
Okay. There you go.
Good job.
Out of your hand and.
Oh, come on, buddy.
There you go. Mind if I take a picture?
No, go ahead.
Drive careful. See you guys. It's a nice warm day today. I just walked out here in the shop to find something. I can't even remember why I went out there as usual. But I walked in the shop and this is what I saw on the walls in here. Look at all the ladybugs. Whoops. Whoops. Look at all the ladybugs. It's like the last warm day of the year, so the ladybugs are trying to find the spot where they're gonna spend the winter, and I haven't put the seals around the garage door, so the ladybugs made it in, and they're probably just gonna have to hang out all winter long, because I don't kill ladybugs. But anyway, when it's warm like this, all the bugs, the wasps, you can see them on the roof. All the bugs are just looking for a place to spend a warm winter. So on the one hand, it kind of, I could do without the bugs in the shop. But on the other hand, it's a reminder that I should probably get the firewood piled up because snow's going to be here soon. Okay, I remember a moment in my life, in my 30s, frankly, where I had gotten into too much debt. I can remember having a few credit cards. I can remember having more payments than I was comfortable with, even a car payment in there. And I can remember feeling hopeless. I can remember feeling like it was awful easy to get this party started, but it's going to be hard to undo what I just did. It would have been nice in that moment to have PDS Debt on my side. If you have things like personal loans, medical bills, credit cards, collections of any kind, PDS Debt is for you. PDS provides a service to match you with debt solutions tailored to your financial situation. If you're making payments every month on your debt and your balances aren't going down, PDS has solutions for you. So everyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt would qualify. Bad and fair credit accepted. There is no minimum credit score required. So stop waiting and start saving. Get a free debt analysis now at pdsdebt.com/redpoppyranch. It only takes 30 seconds. That's pdsdebt.com/redpoppyranch. pdsdebt.com/redpoppyranch. Thank you again, PDS Debt. Well, I feel like a bit of a broken record when I talk about the weather hanging on, but the truth is this is probably the nicest October we've ever had up here at Red Poppy Ranch as far as mild weather is concerned. But that being said, we haven't had real rain in over a month and a half. So one of the last things that I need to get done around this cabin before I can start stacking logs is I need to do something to prevent any dirt from sloughing off and sitting up against that cabin when the snow and the rain eventually gets here. My solution to that problem is a small hand-stacked retaining wall that I'm hoping I can throw together in the next couple of days. So this is what's left of my rock pile after building the 2 retaining walls behind the house. Most of these rocks are less than a couple of 100 pounds, but they're perfect for the retaining wall behind the back of the cabin. My goal is to do this whole retaining wall by hand, even the big heavy foundation stones. Some of these stones are clearly a limestone base, and then some are extremely heavy. I would guess a stone like this probably weighs around the 300-pound mark. Now I only know one way to learn, and that's kind of the hands-on, figure it out, do it until it looks right. And I have to tell you that every time I've done a retaining wall thus far, I haven't been crazy about it. But again, I don't know how to learn unless I just try. And this is one of those projects that as I get better at stonework, I may revisit this in the future. This is one of these projects that I wish I could spend like 2 weeks working on, because if I had the time, I could get all of the stone joints much tighter, maybe even get the rock hammer out and really put some effort into it. But in the future, this is something I hope to get really good at. Taking the natural stone from around my place and using it for things like a boulder retaining wall for the back of this cabin. One of the things that I hope to do someday after this cabin is built, and maybe once there aren't as many big projects to get done as I currently have, I would love to find a stonemason that might actually be able to come to our place here and teach a class where myself and others might actually learn the right and wrong way to use stone and make it look like it was done by a real stonemason. As much as I love being a plumber, I really want to learn how to be a stonemason. Well, I don't love the first time around here on this stone retaining wall, but it should serve its purpose. So for that reason, it's going to stay. And I'm going to continue to build this around the back of the cabin. I think I've made my lovely wife Cedar wait long enough. I know she wants me to get all the stain finished up before snow flies. A couple of weeks back when I was working on the front of the house, I went ahead and pressure washed the back of the house too, getting it ready for the stain that I'm now putting on. It would have been ideal if I masked off both the tin and the windows, but as usual, I'll clean it up later. As I said, Cedar was happy to see me working on the stain on the back of the house while she is making an attempt at the few tomatoes that we've gotten so far out of this year's garden. It's been the driest year that I can remember, and I know the weather's going to change any second. And I worry that one of these years we're going to end up with a very dry fall followed by a very light winter, which could lead to potentially a tinderbox around our house up here. By the way, if you pay close attention to the sod that I put down a couple of months back now, you can see that most of this sod on the back of the house did not take. I picked all this sod up on a Saturday and I let it sit until Monday, and it was one of the hottest days of the year, and that seemed to kill most of this grass, even though I've been watering it like crazy. Scooter my blues away. Well, if you didn't catch that, that was me singing my new favorite song off of Sturgill Simpson's new album called Scooter My Blues Away. I've been listening to Sturgill Simpson's new album nonstop since it came out a couple of weeks back. But as you can see, I'm nearly done staining the underside of our eaves, and I made a mess in the process. I'm putting the Mesmer's Colorado Brown stain on like I don't want to do this again for a long time. Again, I'm only doing one coat, but this Doug fir is just soaking the stain up. As I said before, it would have been much better to mask the windows off and even the tin before I started. But you will see here shortly that with enough elbow grease, it'll still clean up. I've given some serious thought to using the Mesmer's stain with my airless paint sprayer, but I'm not comfortable enough with the process yet to do this, so I'm doing everything by hand and making a mess in the process. So you're going to get to see here shortly how I clean that mess up with a little bit of stain stripper. Pay close attention to the tin. Clearly, it would have been better to put a little bit of time into masking some things off. I'd love to give you a good excuse as to why I didn't do it, but as usual, I don't have one. So now I get to do the cleanup, which is going to take just as long, if not longer, than it would have to mask things off in the first place. But I will say this, that stain stripper makes the corrugated tin look perfect. The galvanized roof gutters that we love so much got damaged on this side of the house a couple of years back when we had that really bad snowstorm. I'll get it reinstalled soon and it should look perfect with this tin. You're going to have to do a little bit of visualization with me here, but the idea is to have a two-tiered garden patch behind the back of the cabin where I can install rain gutters on the 8-sided cabin and direct the water from the cabin to these terraces where we hope to have gardens growing during the warmer months. So this first terrace is going to be somewhere around 4 feet tall. I've done quite a bit of work to my skid steer getting it ready to go over to Bear Lake to haul those logs, and there's one part that I'm still waiting for, and that's the drive belt between the engine and the hydraulic pump. And at the moment, the old belt's slipping. But even with a slipping drive belt, the old skid steer is still getting it done. It's my favorite thing, taking these rocks around here and trying to find places to use them. Well, I don't know what the exact mineral is that's in some of these rocks, but every once in a while I grab a hold of a good-sized rock and it weighs about double what everything else weighs. And again, this is my first attempt at a hand stack retaining wall, so we'll see how long it lasts. Well, I've been stretching this out for as long as I can, but officially next week I'm going to go over and start hauling these logs back and trying to figure out how this new 8-sided cabin is going to actually turn out. In the meantime, we wanted to say thank you for stopping by and checking on us.